All right, it's a good afternoon for me here today, guys. We are down in beautiful Petaluma, California, and Petaluma's a place known for a lot of chicken farming and cattle, and it's just really nice, kind of big parcels. And this parcel here is probably, I don't know, maybe 5 acres or more. Anyhow, we have a new septic system we're putting in here for them. It's a Mound septic system, and I just took some measurements with the property owner, and we have this old chicken barn here that's going to be coming down. Not us, but they're going to be taking that down, putting an ADU in right there. And so we just laid out the new tanks are going to go right in here, so it'll be septic tank and sump tank coming right towards me. So it'll be tank, sump in a straight line, and we're going to be pumping through a 2-inch PVC line. We're going to trench and install that all the way down this fence line. We're going to try to get that pipeline about 4 feet off the fence line the whole way down. I got some guineas cruising around here, and then way out in that field back there, we're going to be putting in a new mound system. So that's going to be a big sand bed, and there's a gravel box that goes in the center with the perforated PVC lateral. So that's what this project is. This will be phase 1, excavating and setting some tanks. So let's get started. Got the little cat here. I shouldn't have to dig very deep for these tanks, so I think that cat's going to work perfect. And let's get these guys trenched out. Summertime, it is dry in California, but let's get you a different spot. All right, you know what time it is. Tank hole's done. And Mark just got here with the tanks, and we just walked out here and took a look at things. So he's gonna pull up and back in. I think he's got the 1500, yeah. He's got the 1500 gallon tank on there. And I did have a little collapse right here. This is very sandy. The top 3.5 feet is very sandy material. So fingers crossed this doesn't squish and cave in while we're trying to set this first tank here. We'll see how it goes though. Really dry and sandy, but let's get them backed in here and set these guys in. There they are in the ground. Just helping Mark get his gear back on the truck. Got it nicely lined up. In that time lapse, you might have seen me hooking my tape measure on the far back corner of the septic tank and pulling it all the way across here. And I was just using that as a visual guide, visual aid, if you will, to get the sides of these tanks lined up. It's kind of nice that these tanks are the same width actually, because you know, your tank holes can be the same width, but there you have it. A little bit of a gap. Gap is good. Let's decent gap allows material backfill to work its way back down in there. We're not going to be compacting the backfill around the tanks. We're going to be backfilling with this native material here and jetting the material in. It's just a process of adding a lot of water to the soil backfill around the tanks. It helps settle that material down. So there you have it. Got these guys lined up really good. I shot that in with the laser. The tank outlet is just a fraction of an inch higher up in elevation than the inlet of the sump. Got this one epoxied on. Got that epoxied on. No more cave-ins, no issues. Lined up perfectly, exactly per plan. Looking good. All right, there he goes. Excellent work, Mark. Thank you. Excellent guy. All right, beautiful morning this morning. Today's the day we're going to be laying down some sand for this mound. And we got the remote control belt trucks here. And I've used belt trucks a number of times before to build these mound systems. But this time we're going to use it at the same time we're using the skid steer with the grader blade with the lasers in automatic mode. I'm going to have two belt trucks working with me today. They're going to be both shooting the blade basically, or making me a little pile right in front of that grader blade. One truck will be on this side, the other truck will be on the other side if all goes well. And they'll just keep that pile of sand in front of the blade, and I'll blade it all the way out across. And at that point it'll be ready for our form boards to go up to make the gravel bed in the center. So let's see how this goes. This is pretty cool. You can see the driver or operator there has that controller. It's a belt controller, so it can just hang on his hip. And he's backing up the truck right now. Nobody's inside. All right, truck number 2 showed up. That's Dennis there. Think we're getting blasted by some sand. Moving back a little bit. It's going pretty good. Probably be a little bit of a rough start. The question mark is how much is the sand really squishing down under the tracks. And I've got it adjusted for a little bit thicker than needed, but maybe it'll squish down too much, and I'll have to have these guys put a little bit more on top and blade it off again. We'll see how it goes here. All right, so that's 2 truckloads of sand just unloaded, and you can see how far we got with that. And again, the end result, we need at least 12-inch thick layer of sand under the gravel bed that we're going to be building. I have the automatics, the laser receiver set up on this grader blade to give me a 14-inch thick sand bed, because I'm expecting some of that sand to pack down. And you can see how far we made it, not even quite a quarter of the way through. So I think we're gonna have 2, 4, 6, maybe 7 or 8 more trucks to get us all the way to the end. So we'll just plug away at it, put you guys maybe on time lapse here at some point, and should be interesting to see that come together. All right, got all that sand placed and just finished putting the gravel in the very end here. Use the skid steer for that. And man, I really like using those belt trucks for placing the sand and the aggregate on these mounds like that. But with that being done, we are ready to start plumbing the laterals. We're going to start by getting the balancing valve assembly put together right here. You can see I've located our stub up pipe that we pre-installed, trenched and installed to the center of the gravel bed. And I'm going to throw a T on that. I'm going to use the laser level because I do want to make sure that T is up at an elevation of our 6-inch thick gravel layer. And yeah, let's get started. All right, got these laterals plumbed together here. Got the purge end assemblies on, and I just went over and tested the pump and purged out the laterals. You can see the moisture there on the ground. Have an inspection tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, and the only thing I have left to do really at this point is drill the orifices. So let's start drilling. And I'm just going to go through the plans and double check the orifice size and the spacing. And as usual, it's windy. So 30 inches on center, 12 inches or so out from the valve. And we're going to stagger the holes. So we're going to stagger these holes from those holes there. 30 inches. Get those burrs out of there. Well guys, I hate to cut it short, but that's going to be it for this video. If you'd like to see the rest of this mound system build and backfill, keep an eye out for that next episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Over and out.